Laurens Barrage is the world's first tidal power station. The facility is located on the estuary of the Rance River in Brittany, France. The barrage has a lock 65 metres long and 13 metres wide, through which approximately 20,000 boats a year pass through. The Rance tidal power plant supplies a population of 223,000, equivalent to a city the size of Rennes. And across the top there is a highway linking Dinard and Saint-Malo. 26,000 vehicles use it on an average day and 60,000 in the summer. Laurens is 50 years of field data showing that tidal gateways can work. A man who has studied the Laurens Barrage in detail is George Giddis, Director of Lancaster Renewable Energy Group at Lancaster University. He showed me around his labs where he designs turbines. George is what I call a guru when it comes to this subject.
Laurens is a very good example and was developed in the 60s and it's operating since then. I have been there and recently I was there and discussing with EDF engineers. EDF engineers are also here just outside of Lancaster, the HSM 1 and the HSM 2. That are operating nuclear power stations, and they were telling me that Laurens is the cheapest plant to operate on the EDF fleet. So it's always good to base what we're doing on past experience.
I visited Laurens in July and used the barrage numerous times to travel from town to town. It is an incredible sight to see the barrage lifting up traffic sat at either end. It really does put into perspective the connectivity that the barrage enables. As we can see behind me, the bridge is actually lifting up to let the larger boats through the lock. The tidal plant is an international attraction in its own right. More than 70,000 visitors, including tourists, students, engineers and technicians, visit every single year. With a busy schedule, I had to leave Dinard and return to Manchester, where I spoke to John Epps, an energy consultant from Andritz Hydro. He talks about the employment opportunities that come with tidal gateways.
Employment opportunities are very powerful. We're bringing in a new technology, very exciting. We've got opportunities for establishing new companies, resources based on established technologies but expanding it. And perhaps the most important thing, we've got our youngsters from our colleges and universities who now can become involved because this is their future. We look across to the alternatives, important alternatives such as solar and wind and nuclear, which are in many ways green, but none of them have got the depth that tidal energy can provide, and none of them can do the length of time of investment well in excess of 100 years. And we believe that is a real driver for the future. That's very important.
After meeting with John Epps, I wanted to then find out what the government's views were for green energy, so I spoke with the Member of Parliament for Rossendale and Darwen.
I'm Jake Berry, I'm the Member of Parliament for Rossendale and Darwen. In 2010, where my party, the Conservative Party, came into government, that we want to be the greenest government ever. We've changed subsidy ratios over the last few years, taking them away initially from solar as that became economical and cheap to install. We've taken some of the subsidies recently away from the large-scale wind turbine farms that we see here over East Lancashire. And I think now is the time, as we look to really find new ways of generating that green energy, to look to move some of that subsidy onto tidal energy, because we are an island and we have some of the greatest tidal rises and falls in the world here around the British Isles. And if we're not capturing tidal energy, then frankly, who else will?
The debate for tidal energy carries on, and we have to think of the environment, but we also have to act quickly and efficiently regarding climate change. Laurens Barrage is our example, but whether we follow in its footsteps is a different story. Only time will tell.